and it's supposed to be light outside at 7:15. If you do not want to watch all 20 minutes of this episode, there is timestamps in the description. Go to whatever part you want to hear. And yeah, let's go. There was 5 ideas on this assignment that I had to choose one and then write an essay on it in 30 minutes, and the essay would be 300 words long. But
you overshot that.
Yeah, I wrote 522, and then I just had to get this last paragraph out, so I wrote it down below. Okay, so I chose the statement or proverb or whatever. I chose to err is human and to forgive divine. So here's my essay. To err is human and to forgive divine means that when humans sin, it is natural for them to do so, but when a human sins, God forgives. Therefore, if a human forgives, they are doing something divine and godly. I disagree with this because it is in human nature to do wrong and make mistakes, and it is our evolved consciousness that allows us to forgive. There is nothing divine, godly, or spiritual about giving unconditional love. When somebody does something wrong, and when somebody does something wrong and they are a sane person, they will eventually feel guilt. They will have to forgive themselves before they can move on from the problem. And one of the most helpful ways to move on from something is to be forgiven by somebody else. It is easy to say that God will forgive you for all of your sins, but there is nothing godly about forgiving someone. It is in our genetic makeup to forgive someone for their wrongdoings. It is because of our evolved consciousness that we can understand fully why someone did something wrong. Stupid lunch alarm.
Edit. Take 2.
Well, I'm just going to continue. Okay. It is the emotional love, more specifically unconditional love, that gives us the ability to feel as even though a friend did something totally, completely immoral, humans love this person for who they are and can forgive and understand. It is also the evolved human consciousness that gives us emotions and the ability to identify what is moral and immoral. Because of our emotions, we can relate physical expressions into emotions to identify if one is happy or upset. This would be called sympathy, the ability to feel bad about the ability to feel bad about what another person is going through, even though we have no idea. Humans also have the ability to know what someone is going through due to have gone through that same thing before. That was weird how I worded that.
Right, having done.
Yeah. This would be empathy, and is responsible for knowing how tickling feels, even though sympathy would say that tickling feels good because of the physical expression of laughter. Therefore, humans can work out. I thought you laughed.
Oh, no, I'm listening.
I thought I heard you breathe weird. Anyway. Therefore, humans can work out what other humans are feeling when somebody has something wrong done to them, such as a robbery or a murder or something small like bullying. Our advanced and evolved human brains can comprehend what someone is going through and the emotions going through them. Then our frontal lobe, the part of the brain that has abilities of thinking, planning, and working out problems, can work out what a wrongdoer must be going through based on what he has done. If someone is bullying at school, you may hate their guts, but another person might sympathize and figure out that their father is abusive. Then they can forgive them for their actions. Every sin has a person behind it, and every sinful person has a sin being done to them, regardless of if it was being done by a person or it just worked out that they were put in a bad situation. A homeless person might do the sin of stealing or commit gluttony due to a lack of food. A lonely person might commit rape. A bullied person might commit wrath and shoot down a school. The following part of the essay I did not get to write due to time constraints. And then this is the final thing. If we could not forgive ourselves and other people for doing sins, then we would all commit the sin of hate. Doing sins is natural for humans, yes. However, feeling love and forgiving is not divine, but again, natural for humans to do. God might forgive, but it is not his divinity that allows him to do so. It is his humanity. Perhaps God is more human than we think.
It's pretty heavy. Did you say earlier on that it was genetic? That was in our genetic to forgive? Along that line?
Yeah, but it's like, I said,
so early on.
Yeah, I basically said it was in our genetic makeup.
The only problem I have with that is, if it's in our genes, and we're compulsively, we will do it. And how many people don't? There's a lot of people who never forgive. And they'll hold off forgiving. They're angry, they hold off. But
I guess I can change that.
Yeah, so genes kind of makes it like, if somebody harms us, our genes makes us, because that's how genes operate, right? They kind of, you're preset to do that. So, but that part seems a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Look at it at that context. But our subconscious and unconscious and all that, all the other things you mentioned is pretty good. So, is it true that to err is only human?
To sin is only human? Well, speaking of human as every intelligent race in the universe that ever existed, yes.
The humanoid.
Yeah.
Just thinking here on Earth.
Any intelligent race, yeah, it is natural for us to sin, but it is natural for us to forgive.
It's a better way. It's natural. But what you failed to mention is, how about those who do not forgive? What holds them back?
Well, I said somewhere in here. The beginning of this first body paragraph, I say when somebody does something wrong and they're a sane person, they will eventually feel guilt. So what I basically meant there is,
if they're rational and sane, that would be the right thing to do. Okay.
They would feel emotions, because there's some people who the part of their brain that is responsible for emotions is like small or not there at all.
Right, and that creates what they call a sociopath.
Yeah, and then sometimes if the sociopath is basically sinful and does stuff only to benefit him and he turns
feels
into
no
a psychopath.
Right. And they feel no remorse. That's
Yeah.
why I said, what about those?
I could make a paragraph on that.
And on a side note, aren't we the only animal on the planet, I don't know about the rest of the universe, but on the planet, that has a frontal lobe?
I think every animal, maybe I'm wrong, but I think, like, at least most animals have a frontal lobe, but it's just that it's small compared to humans. Maybe they have, like, because our frontal lobe is pretty big. Maybe they just have a smaller frontal lobe. I don't know.
I'm going to have to check that out. I don't know why I had it in my mind when you were reading that we're the only species that has a frontal lobe. I keep wanting to say prefrontal lobe. I don't know why that keeps popping in there. But a frontal lobe.
Prefrontal lobe is the frontmost part of... It's our prefrontal cortex, and it's our most frontal part of our frontal lobe.
And maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That we're the only animal that has that. That allows us to define and have the ability to forgive and to feel emotional and things like that. Let's see here.
I guess I'll try this.
Yeah, give it a try.
That thing hit me in the knee. I'll make a part of this video. Me trying this. What is it called? I don't even... Nature Valley biscuits with peanut butter. Okay. I don't really like peanut butter that much, but whatever. I need to eat some. The only thing I had for breakfast was basically a fruit bar like this, but it wasn't a biscuit.
Well, this has high protein in it, so it should stay in your stomach, make you feel full longer.
Well, I want to feel full for too long. I have to eat a double chalupa.
That's right.
Double chalupa box. So, did you like the essay?
Yeah. I do. Like I said, the only thing I don't like that part of, like, if it's anything to do with us being genetic, then we're not using our minds. It's just inbuilt to do certain things. So other than that, that sounds like a good thing.
So I need to change the gene thing and maybe write another paragraph about people being about the sane sanity.
Right. Rational and insane. Rational would probably be as good as sane. Being rational and sane. They're able to rationalize and say, I need to forgive this person.
Yeah.
But if you're a psychopath, a sociopath, you can go forever never forgive.
Yeah. Can I have a pencil?
I don't.
Is there a pencil in here?
Might be in there.
Because I want to write down those two things. Here it is. Pen, man. I'm wondering, because a pen is permanent, but a pencil is not. So I'm wondering how the sill part of the pencil became.
Oh yeah, pen, sill. I thought I saw another one that didn't work, but I don't. Now, do you have to have a minimum of 300 words, or is that a maximum?
300 to 500 was the thing, so I overshot the maximum by 22 words.
Well, maybe you can finesse it a little bit with that paragraph or change a few little things. But I don't think she's going to go through and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. You can highlight the thing and then select tools and then go to word count.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
I know that's Open Office, but Microsoft Word, it just says it at the bottom.
As you're doing it. Yeah, right.
It says words and characters.
So when does it due?
There, no assignment is due. Oh, I think I almost fell in the chair. That was pretty good. I mean, it's not, oh my god, this is so delicious, I want more of them, but
So like it's a quick little
it's
snack.
not disgusting. I don't think I'm gonna finish it though.
Okay. Leave it there.
Alright,
If you don't need any more, I'll toss it.
Don't forget to remind me about this paper, because I want to get it so I can.
Oh yeah, and do your repairs. Okay. That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna try Taco Bell's hottest sauce, Diablo. I think the mild is hot, so I don't know. I got some on my finger.
When it says Diablo,
That's
I
just.
mean it's devilish hot.
It is hot. It's very hot, but it tastes disgusting.
It'll taste good on your chalupa.
I ain't putting it on my chalupa.
You ain't?
I ain't. You can stop recording now. Yeah, so basically what you said is when you went to an authentic bullfight in Mexico in 1969 or 1970 with your friend, it was very different, and it was, so, just to recap what you said for the audience watching, the bull comes out, and then there's a bunch of men on horses running around to tire out the bull, and the bulls were running all over the place.
Yeah, to keep the bull running.
And then when the men on the horses get near the bull, they get a pole like that long, and all the poles are different colors, and it has a hook on the end. They stab it in the bull's back, and it has a hook so it won't fall out. And then the other people on the horses do that same thing, so they're having like 3 poles clinging around on his back while it's running around. And then all the men on the horses leave. And then the Matador, or whatever the guy is, Matador, he comes out with his red cloth, and you know, like, the bull's tired, he's bleeding, he has poles in his back. The bull runs around, getting taunted with the cloth that is just red for no reason.
And the crowd's all excited.
Yeah.
Ole, ole, every time the bull goes by, they say that.
And then the guy distracts it with the cloth and moves it away. And then after like 20 minutes, when the guy's done playing, he distracts the bull. The bull chases the red cloth. The Matador gets a freaking sword and stabs the bull in his back. And then the bull goes limp, dies, and then the Matador chops off the bull's ear and throws it to one of the ladies in the crowd.
Or gives it to her. He ran up and handed it to one of the women in the crowd. Yep.
Mexico is weird.
It's Tijuana, Mexico bullfight, authentic bullfights. That's why you never see them on American television.
So the bull gets tired out, stabbed in the back by hooked poles, and then gets distracted and angry by an idiot with a red cloth, and then gets stabbed in the back and finally dies, and then gets his corpse mutilated by cutting off his ear. And then the ear goes to a random woman.
And the women love it. They're all excited. They all want the ear. Everybody's reaching, wanting to get the ear, that he gives it to one. So the Matadors are like the heroes. Everybody loves the Matadors. They have their favorite Matadors because he puts a good show on for everybody. But in the end, the bull's tortured, sword kills it. Then then when it's over, there's blood all over the ground next to the bull. 2 horses come out, guys jump off and put like chains around the bull's feet, and they drag it off by their horses, drag it off. 2 guys come out and clean up the dirt, throw dirt over top the blood, and then a new bull comes out. And everybody's excited again. That is an authentic bullfight. Like I said, it's illegal to show them on American TV.
So all the women are happy to get a dead, tormented bull ear.
Now, I think in Spain, I think they take the ear, but they don't give them the ear. They'll go over and pick up a rose, like a long stem rose, and walk over and hand it to the lady. That's what I've heard that happens in Spain. But in Mexico, back in 68, 69, that's the way they did it.
Here's a dead, tormented bull ear. Happy birthday.
Yeah. And then say, will you go out with me for dinner tonight? And the girl says he's a matador. Oh, yeah. They're all excited with the matadors.
Just, when you come to my house, don't stab hooked poles into my dog and stab him with the sword.
Yeah, your little miniature bull.
Yeah. No, I was saying that one of the women would say to the guy,
Yes.
just don't torment my dog and give me his ear. I don't want that.
Yeah.
But I'll like a bull ear. Maybe. Okay, so in the spirit of Halloween, even though Halloween was like 5 days ago,
yeah. You wanted to hear the story of
the werewolf.
I may have told you, I'm not sure, but I'll say it again. I got a call of a loud subject yelling, loud noise in the rear of a yard. So my partner Bob and I arrived, and when we got out of our police cars, we could hear this howling sound, a really deep-throated, scary, weird howling sound. It was like around 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was a neighbor he called. So we walked up to the house. We figured out what house it was coming from. We walked up, and we looked in the backyard, and there was like a miniature house, almost maybe a big shed. And it was rocking, it was banging, and his voice was howling, coming out. And you could actually see, and we took our flashlights, and it was moving, it was like shaking. We knocked on the door, and old lady came out. She was in her 60s or 70s or later. And we said, what's going on? And she said, that's my son. It's a full moon, and he thinks he's a wolf. I looked at my partner, and he'll raise an eyebrow, and he'll go, So she goes, maybe you can calm them down, because we told her the neighbors were upset. So we walked over to this place, and it never stopped. It's still, the thing's shaking. There's this loud banging sounds, and this wailing wolf sound. So I took my nightstick and banged on the door, banged real hard, and all of a sudden the door opened up real fast, and this guy who had a face full of beard and had his hairs all over the place, and he stuck his head out, and he said, what do you want? And we both stepped back a little bit, like we didn't expect him to open the door real fast and do it. And I said, we've got a complaint about you making all this noise. And he looked at me real seriously, and he said, well, what do you expect? It's a full moon, you idiot. And he pointed up, and it was. And he said, and I'm a werewolf. I said, okay, werewolf. Still going to have to knock the sound out of the neighborhood. If I get called back here, we're going to end up locking a werewolf up. He kind of like said, okay, and then he did calm down. We never did get called back. But it really did have that whole theme. Hot summer night, 2:30 again, 2:33 in the morning. And to see the guy open the door with his face full of hair and a beard.
What if he was a werewolf?
Thought he was. So I said, I've locked up God, met werewolves.
Yeah.
If you want to find out what the world's really like, become a police officer.
Yeah.
You get to see the underbelly of the world. world we live in, Mr. Jake. I don't know if it's still on.
Yeah.
There.